Welcome to Crossdressing Imagination. Today, I am going to tell you a story about a person who crossdressed for house. In the bustling metropolis, where apartments were scarce and rents skyrocketed, young Ethan found himself in a desperate predicament. With his finances dwindling, he embarked on a relentless search for an affordable roof over his head. His hopes dwindled with each rejection, until a glimmer of light appeared in the form of a PG house advertisement. However, fate had a peculiar twist in store for him. The house was exclusively available for female tenants. Undeterred by the obstacle, Ethan's desperation fueled his creativity. Donning his sister's clothing, he timidly approached the landlady, his heart pounding with both anticipation and trepidation. To his astonishment, the kindly old woman, distracted by a broken water pipe, failed to notice his disguise. With trembling hands, Ethan signed the lease and took possession of his new abode. As he settled into his modest room, he couldn't help but feel a surge of both excitement and unease. The house was filled with cheerful laughter and girly chatter, a stark contrast to his previous solitary existence. Initially, Ethan's crossdressing was a necessary inconvenience, but as days turned into weeks, he found himself adapting to his new life seamlessly. He learned to braid his hair, apply subtle makeup, and navigate the intricacies of women's fashion. In the shared spaces of the house, he listened intently to the girls' conversations, absorbing their perspectives and ways of thinking. The barriers between boy and girl, once so rigid, began to blur. One evening, while sharing dinner, Ethan couldn't resist sharing his secret with his roommates. To his surprise, they greeted the revelation with open arms. They recognized his struggle and understood the sacrifices he had made. To his surprise, they were surprisingly accepting, even enthusiastic, urging him to join them for a weekend night out. "We're going to a new club, F. It's gonna be amazing," Maya, the resident party animal, had declared, her eyes sparkling with mischief. The only hitch was, Maya insisted, "You gotta get your ears pierced, F. It's a total clubbing essential." Ethan, a bit apprehensive but wanting to fit in, had reluctantly agreed. He'd chosen a small, elegant silver stud, hoping it would add to the illusion without screaming cross-dresser. Now, standing in the bathroom mirror, examining his reflection, he couldn't help but feel a twinge of anxiety. His makeup, expertly applied by Maya, was flawless. His borrowed dress, a midnight blue number that hugged his figure, felt surprisingly comfortable. Yet, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was playing a role, a character in a play that could easily go wrong. As they entered the club, the pulsating music and flashing lights washed over him, a dizzying sensory overload. The girls, already buzzing with energy, grabbed him by the hand, pulling him into the swirling mass of bodies. Ethan felt a surge of adrenaline, a mixture of excitement and terror. He kept his head down, focusing on his steps, trying his best to blend in with the crowd. He mimicked the girls, swaying to the music, sipping his drink, laughing at their jokes. He was a chameleon, absorbing the energy of the room, trying to become one with the rhythm of the night. The night, however, had its challenges. A drunk man, mistaking him for a real woman, attempted to strike up a conversation. Ethan, with a panicked smile, managed to politely excuse himself. Later, a group of girls, their eyes narrowed with suspicion, gave him a long, scrutinizing look. But, each time, he managed to pull through, his mind sharp, his actions quick, never letting his nervousness show. He learned to move with a certain confidence, his body language subtly aligned with the feminine persona he'd crafted. By the time the night was over, Ethan was exhausted, but exhilarated. He'd managed to pull it off. No one had guessed his secret. As they walked back to the PG house, the girls were chattering, recounting the highlights of the night. Ethan, however, was lost in his thoughts. He'd crossed a line, ventured into a world he'd never imagined himself in.